Hello and welcome to Ready Steady Cosplay. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've seen my channel before, welcome back. This is part 2 of my Bad Batch Hunter Season 1 armor series, and today's focus is the torso armor. As I have said before, this entire cosplay is made from cardboard, because I think it can be good to show new cosplayers that you don't need all the fancy materials to make a really effective and realistic cosplay. I began by sewing this under neck collar. I started with this because even though it was a quick piece, it was a break from the messy and honestly tiring armor building. I used the Simplicity pattern M7306. I cut and pinned the pattern to my fabric. I got to use my brand new fabric shears for this, and I could really tell the difference between my new and old ones. The fabric I am using is a durable blue-black polyester blend. I had to again use my friend's sewing machine since I still don't have an official one yet, but I do have a 1950s machine to test out, and if it works, it will become my new machine. I use an off-white cotton thread because I like the contrast of colours, and I also think it fits the styling choice for Hunter's character design, and also because it looks cool. It's hard to see until I finished, but I also sewed these shoulder arm straps from taping so that I could attach my arm and shoulder armour later. Later on you will also see that I added a velcro closure to make it easy to get in and out of it. Once it was done, I was very pleased with how it turned out. It fit perfectly and all the seams were neat. Next I moved on to the armour. I started with the back plate. I made a pattern from my old Bo-Katan cosplay and tweaked it to go around my ribs and over my shoulders more. I also added the angled edging that Hunter's armour has around the neckline. Then I moved on to the front plate. I made this one up as I went, referring to a lot of images of Hunter to get the shape as close as I possibly could. It took some time and playing around, but I eventually got it right. I managed to try it on over my corset and made adjustments where it was needed. Mainly, it was needed in the back plate. The bicep pieces were very simple. I just made a paper tube to the circumference of my arm and added the details to it. The pauldrons, however, took a bit more time. The shape was quite basic, but it was tricky to replicate it at 10 o'clock at night. Finally, I worked on the braces, making a pattern by wrapping my arm in tape. I then transferred it to paper. Check out my other video for a more detailed explanation and demonstration. After the paper pattern base was made, I drew on the details for the elevated plates and also where the vibroblade holster would sit. Now that everything is patterned, I began to transfer it all to cardboard. I simply used a marker pen and a box cutter for this. It takes a while to cut everything out, and you must make sure everything is correctly labelled too. Be careful when you use a box knife. I use my hot glue and masking tape method to glue all the pieces together. Remember, cardboard can be stiff, so pre-bending everything really is helpful for this stage. My favourite part of this stage of the build has to be the braces. They came out so great at the end and fit amazingly. I love the layering details and the colour combos you will see later on. Gluing the chest plate pieces was tricky as it had a lot of elements that needed to be glued at the right angles. This is one reason why labelling all of your pieces comes in handy, because if I hadn't, I would have been very confused. And that's the construction finished. And now I moved on to the paper macheing. I opted to use a brush this time because originally when I made the legs I made an absolute mess. I forgot to film the making of the vibroblade, but I do show you this stage here. I coated the armour with Mod Podge before I began spray painting it all black. Make sure to do this in a well ventilated area and wear a mask. I used my airbrush to spray the grey details and toning of the armour. I love the effect the airbrush gives the armour, and I'm so glad I was given this airbrush machine. This airbrush model is very reliable and also very affordable. The main expenses is the paint itself because it's not a one-time purchase thing. I added the taping from before onto the handle of the vibroblade, because I felt like it needed a new texture to break up the constant paint and the armour, while also adding a touch of realism to this cosplay. Like I did with the leg armour, I used a sponge to apply the red paint details. I love the effect of this as well, because it gives off the animation style from the Bad Batch show. The Clone Force 99 insignia and number was painted on with white acrylic, and then dry brushed over it with a black to weather it down. Just like on the legs, I hand painted small black lines each side of the red stripes on the chest plate. I weathered the armour to make it look worn and have battle damage. I used a combination of black and silver paint. It's hard to see on camera because it is quite subtle, but it works really well all together in person. Lastly, I added all of the closures. I added zips to the braces with hot glue. This method of closures is very helpful and easy to get on and off. Here is where I mentioned before about adding Velcro closures to the undercollar. The chest plate also has a Velcro closure on the side for ease of getting in and out of it. Finally, I attached the pauldrons and bicep armour to the undercollar straps. And that is it. Part 2 of my Hunter cosplay is done. I am very happy with how it turned out. I would personally make a tweak here and there before I wear it out to a convention, but otherwise I am very satisfied with it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel to be alerted for more projects in the future, and feel free to check out my other videos, and also part 1 of this cosplay project. I have one more part to make for this cosplay, which will be on the midsection, so be sure to check that out too.